And welcome to The Conversation Continues. We're joined today by Iris Dimick, who is senior reporter for the Rivard Report, and Tony Quesada is the editor of the San Antonio Business Journal. Tony, we were talking about the airport. It seems like there's a lot of potential for growth at the San Antonio airport. It seems like the city, with the business growth, with the cybersecurity, with all the things happening here, it seems like that's a fertile ground. And obviously, General Handy is a very, very dynamic leader of the aviation department.
Yeah, and the big thing, you mentioned cybersecurity. The man who chaired the mayor's task force on the airport is a cybersecurity executive, John Dixon, who's one of the co-founders of a company called Denham Group, which is a cybersecurity services and products firm. So they understand, and he understands what an airport, the vibrancy of an airport means to the business community in terms of being able to connect with other parts of the country and other parts of the world to conduct business face to face. So they know the location of the San Antonio Business Journal is unique to a lot of cities. Most cities now have moved their airports out. Like when Denver did their airport several years ago, it went from kind of an urban airport to further out, because that's where you can find space to do it. Here you have an airport and that has some space to continue. They've done the consolidated rental car facility.
And the incredible connection to downtown, which you're not going to find in pretty much any other major city airport.
You get on 281 and you're downtown in minutes, or if you're staying downtown, and pretty much anybody in San Antonio can get to the airport pretty quickly. And if you live in some of the suburbs, you can get to the airport pretty quickly. So that's a huge advantage compared to a lot of cities. So trying to develop it there makes some sense. There is room on the property for expansion. The real question is the growth of the city itself. As this city becomes more attractive to other, corporations, then we'll need more flights. And the more flights we need, the more they'll have to expand.
Iris, you've been reporting extensively on transportation. Obviously, we have the big transportation initiative coming up this year. Is what's happening on Broadway, is that a key part of what we can expect in the future, do you think? Dedicated lanes, multimodal transportation. Is that happening in a lot of neighborhoods, do you think, in the coming years?
I think that's the plan, yes. And I think a lot of people see Broadway as an example of what can be elsewhere throughout the city, as kind of the bright spot of like, this is what we can do for other boulevards and other thoroughfares throughout the city. So that is the plan, as Connect SA, the nonprofit formed by the mayor and city or county judge, lays out its framework for its plan. Yeah, I mean, micro-mobility, complete streets, things like that is emphasized in that plan.
Iris Dimick, Rivard Report. Tony Quesada, editor of the San Antonio Business Journal. Thank you for joining us today for The Conversation Continues.